Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Emmy the Cat Lady, and you join me back here in the Capital Wasteland. We are outside the RobCo facility. So if you've done the Wasteland Survival Guide, you've probably been here at some point. But there's quite a few interesting things going on. So over there you can see we've got a guy with a bunch of robots. So that's Tinker Joe. He tends to hang out outside this place with his robot buddies. And you can recruit Sergeant RL3, Mr. Gutsy, from him, but only if you have neutral karma. If you're too good or too evil, then Sergeant RL3 is not interested in being your friend. So it's something to bear in mind. But, you know, Gutsies are pretty good in terms of being a companion and being kind of helpful in battle. So that's an option. There is also quite commonly a random encounter location near here as well. There is a death claw wandering over there, but we're just going to ignore that and hope it goes away. But yeah, so normally you come here, Moira Brown obviously sends you with the widget to let you control the robots and things, and you can use that on the mainframe and then reprogram the robots to do your bidding. That's kind of part of the quest, but there's quite a few interesting bits and pieces to find inside this place, so we're going to give it a closer look. So when we come inside, I have already done that part of the quest because the Wasteland Survival Guide is complete. So we do have friendly protectrons, and most of the rad roaches and mole rats should be dead, but that's generally what you expect to find in here. There is a total of 31 rad roaches in this location, which is the highest number of them in one place. That's a stim pack as well. So yeah, there's all sorts of random loot that you can find, the usual. In this place, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the places where the kind of floating robot exists. Where dead robots are kind of floating. It's kind of a funny bug that can happen. But yeah, this one, guy's already been moved, but you come in here and you find this protectron sitting on the toilet, and then there's some scrap metal in the bowl, so kind of a silly, funny little positioning gag there. But we have a nice little display of some protectron models, obviously meant to be kind of a showroom sort of thing, and the middle of the room's taken up by these two kind of specialised ones. So we've got the militarised one that's obviously got the US Army, and the green coloration, and we also have a Nuka-Cola one, which you do also find these at the Nuka-Cola factory that we were at before, so obviously got to keep the branding in place. And the reception desk, so quite a few, you know, skill books and stealth boys and the usual kind of loot that you find in these places. I think I've already picked this one up, but there is a line congressional style on this desk. We do also have an unfortunate soul who seems to have died by bookshelf, which is very sad. That book's sitting up, that's impressive. Let's see, so the other skill book here is in the sort of factory floor proper. Which is over here. Yeah. All the way in here. We've got this little kind of control station, workstation. There's some protectron pods. There is a big book of science sitting on this console. Yep, and there's pre-war books sitting there as well, actually, which is quite useful if you're collecting those. Also quite a few headless mole rats. But we do also have some other useful bits and pieces to find over here. So we've got a workbench, and as you know, workbench always comes with a bottle cap mine, some broken protectrons, scrap metal, and various other bits and pieces. Jumpsuits, if you really want to cosplay as a RobCo engineer, you can. And then there is a stealth boy in the office that's kind of straight ahead of the entrance. So if we head back through here, oh, there is turrets too. That's one thing Mr. House is always quite serious about, is his security systems. And yeah, there's a stealth boy somewhere in here on one of the desks. It might be this one, which I've possibly already collected, but you can find one in here. Right, so now we want to head up to the offices and cafeteria, which is a different section of the factory. Which means I need to try and remember how I got there before. I don't remember where it is. It's a bit easier to find your way around if you're doing the quest, because at least then the quest marker kind of leads you on. But you know, there's a whole kind of maze of the factory floor. But this is the offices and cafeteria section. So yeah, we've got a few robot friends stomping about. Right, and straight past the washrooms. Here. So a table next to the desk. Excuse me, sir. Wait a second, cubicle on the right. Ah, here we are. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, so if we come to the right from coming into here and then over this one, we've got a Nikola Tesla and you. We've got some railway spikes and other random bits and pieces, which is quite useful there. And then the southernmost room. Here, just before the stairs. There we go. So yep, and here there is a stealth boy as well. And there we go, DC Journal of Internal Medicine in this room. See a bit better, that might help. Yeah, so more random skill books and things, which is quite useful. And yeah, there's lots of drinking glasses and things. So this place has the highest combined number of 52 dinner plates and 47 drinking glasses, which is the highest amount of both of these things in a single location as well. So that plus lots of rad roaches, lots of rad roaches. So yeah, there's quite a bit to this place. That's mainly the kind of interest and loot. There is another stealth boy somewhere, and then obviously we come up to the mainframe, the main mainframe. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so as we've got all the kind of control panels and stuff. This is obviously where you would come for the quest to reprogram the robots, and we've got some more coffee mugs and stuff as well. I think we could take a look at this. Yeah, so we've got orientation guide. Congratulations on your transferal to the position of Robot Protocol Operator. Your trusted co-workers will be the standard Protectron model stationed throughout the facility. Basic operation covers the day-to-day functionality of your co-workers, as described in detail in your training manual. Pest extermination encourages encourages your co-workers to track and sanitize any roaches, rodents, or other undesired pests on the premises. Total Liquidation removes your co-workers' humanoid safety protocols and is for use only in the unlikely event of criminal intrusion or communist attack. Robot Shutdown allows you to temporarily retire your co-workers for their regular maintenance or in the case of accidental liquidation commands. We trust you'll find the work simple, rewarding, and extremely safe. Enjoy! So, as long as you don't accidentally press this button. But yeah, basic operation won't work. And you don't actually have the option of shutting them down. So, yeah. But you can fart about with the changes and things, but just bear in mind that if you press Total Liquidation, they will attack you. And that's probably not something that you would want to happen, realistically. There's so many, like, burnt books and things. It's really a shame, like, given how many of them there is in this game, there really should have been a use for them. Like, I don't know what the use would be, but, you know, there should be like, you could just collect so many of them, but they literally don't do anything, so it just all seems a bit weird. So at least in, like, Fallout New Vegas World War Blues, you could use them to make clean books, and then you had the option of making your own skill books. But yeah, if you're looking for glasses plates or burnt books, look no further. There's plenty of them in here, and first aid boxes and all the usual sorts of stuff. Spoons, they sit on the shelf, really funny. But yeah, so it's quite a big location. It's definitely kind of bigger than you might think from the outside, but there's a lot of interesting stuff tucked away. Skill books and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, a wee hint of the kind of dystopian stuff with that orientation for managing the robots. Because I say one wrong button press and things could get pretty bad. Got some ammo boxes and stuff as well. A lot of mannequins, which I find interesting. There's also this fenced off bit. I'm not really sure what the purpose of that would be. I'm assuming it was supposed to be like storage of something. I don't know. But yeah, this is where the Protectrons were manufactured. At least one of the places they were manufactured. And it's not a huge surprise that even though Mr. House bases himself in Vegas, he's going to have property and, you know, industrial buildings and commercial properties all over the place because he was the richest man in America before the bombs fell. Kind of makes sense. But yeah, I don't really see so much of a kind of production line as I would have thought, but there is definitely some, you know, machinery that looks like it was there to make parts or whatever, like this. Certainly, I've got some scrap metal, so it is a useful place. If you're looking for some scrap metal, I know you can sell it to a couple of different people for a little bit of money, which is quite useful. But I do like the little kind of diorama of all these Protectrons. These ones don't wake up or do anything like the ones that are stomping about, but yeah. I kind of wonder who this person was. Presumably a receptionist that died by a bookshelf. Quite tragic. I like how they're all in slightly different poses as well. It's, yeah. Yeah, it's a fun little location, and I say you might just come here, do the thing with the mainframe and then leave, but there's actually quite a bit of useful loot to find if you take your time to go through it properly. So there's lots of ammo boxes and various other things that you might want to use for crafting, if that's something that you're into. Yeah. There's lots of like storage rooms and stuff as well to find. So yeah, fun little location. I know this one's kind of a short one this week. I'm kind of getting into planning for looking at some locations in one of the other games. I think probably Fallout 4 actually, because I haven't really done much on Fallout 4 for quite a while, and Fallout 4's map is pretty dense. We're also going to be talking about Bar Harbour pretty soon, so on Saturday we're going to visit the pit as part of the Wasteland Ecology series, so we're going to check out the kind of shenanigans that have been going on up in Pittsburgh, and then after that we're going to be visiting Far Harbour. So I think it'd be fun to get back into some Fallout 4 stuff, because I haven't really done much in that game for quite some time, so hopefully you'll join me for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.